Hi everyone, welcome back to the show. It's time to check out which films are going to come out and guess if they're going to pop or flop. We're going to be checking out this epic film, I guess, epic Elvis Presley in concert. And then we also have the Scream 7 film as well. There's only those two films that come out today, so now let's check them out. Okay, so we can start with this Scream 7 film. I haven't seen the last films of these. I guess there's 6 now. I wonder if we're going to keep going like Saw. There's going to be 10 of them. Scream X. I think they're going to do that. So let's check out the trailer. And yeah, I might be lost on that overall narrative, but 57 seconds. Wow.
It would be a wonderful thing to have Kevin Williamson.
Oh, this is like a snippet.
These characters.
Okay, so here's the trailer. 2.5 minutes.
This is it.
Can't believe we're staying at the Psycho Killer B&B.
Oh, that's so cool. It's a motion detector.
Hello?
Hello, Sydney. Did you miss me? Nice little town you found. You and your pretty daughter. Reminds me of where we grew up.
Well, you sure know a lot about me for another asshole hiding behind a voice changer.
Oh, I'm not hiding, Sydney. Not this time.
Down to the end.
I want to be a fighter, like you. If you hurt her.
I'm not going to hurt her until you're here to see it.
Let's unmask this fucker.
All your friends died for just being near you.
Where is my daughter?
Tatum, listen to me.
He's trying to find another way in. We're gonna do this together. You're gonna have to shoot him through the wall.
Where?
To the right of the door. Shoot him now! Do it now!
Oh, you got it.
He's dead. You need to make sure you shoot him in the head.
I'm gonna burn it all down.
Mother!
This is gonna be fun.
Okay, wow. Well, it looks pretty cool. Sounds like Mark Hamill, but yeah, well, it looks kind of cool and stuff. Looks very entertaining. I feel like at this point, you don't really need to show much of the movie. You know, you could do like, you don't need to show anything from the film at all. You could film something else as the promo or the trailer. Rated R, 1 hour, 54 minutes. That's not bad, I guess. Slasher horror, whodunit, horror mystery. When a new Ghostface killer emerges in the town where Sidney Prescott has built a new life, her darkest fears are realized as her daughter becomes the next target. Could be cool. If it's just going to be like that, they could do this forever. It's just a simple premise, you know, like, I mean, you could go more absurd with it and be like, the guy of the killer who's revealed at the end of this one, they'll do another one, Scream 8, and it'll turn out that guy cloned himself. And the new guy is the original guy, you know, the villain of the 8th one. And this guy, whatever, you know, they could do that, some weird stuff. I don't know, you know, like either it's burning out the material or there's logical ways for this story to keep going, you know, like the daughter will grow up and then a new Ghostface killer will go after her, you know, and they can just keep kind of doing that premise forever. So, kind of interesting. Directed by Kevin Williamson, not too familiar with him. Pretty cool. Let's see, Scream. Oh, he's done all the Screams. Scream Bloodline short. Scream 6, right? And then Mortal Kombat. Oh, hey, oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah, he's in that as the character. That's cool. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Alternate ending. Scream. Oh, is this... Oh, wait a sec. Didn't they kind of do like not a reboot, but they titled it different. Scream 4. But then they did... Yeah, I remember Scream has an upside down V for the A, I think, or something like that. So that's kind of interesting. And then Scream, yeah, maybe that's why this is technically Scream 5. Anyways, yeah, so those all got okay stars. Upcoming Scream Lives, The It Girl, and then Rear Window, which that is, a TV series. That must be based off the movie. Scream Lives, that's coming up. Well, interesting. And then and they also wrote it, Guy Busick, James Vanderbilt. No picture for this guy. He wrote Final Destination Bloodlines. Wow, that was a good one. But that's good. I can't believe it got a low rating. That's so dumb. 6 stars, 7 stars average rating, I guess. Then James Vanderbilt is the other person. Wrote all of these. Nuremberg, or produced. Oh, yeah, more producing stuff. Fountain of Youth, upcoming. The Nutty Professor. Jeez, they are just... Burn It Out 2, Here I Come. Nutty Professor, a lot of remakes and reboots and stuff. That's hilarious that they choose to do that one. I don't know. There's other things they could do. Let's see. Here's some user reviews. First one is 6 out of 10. Even with a good pace, it's clear that the franchise has nothing more to offer beyond nostalgia. See? So now it's just making more money. It's more of money, like stretching the story out. Scream 7 works when it leans into its fast-paced, more explicit violence and Sidney's strong presence at the center of the narrative. The family dynamic brings an interesting freshness and helps create a sense of urgency, especially in her relationship with her daughter. The film is entertaining, delivers solid tension sequences, and maintains constant energy. The problem emerges in the final stretch by relying too heavily on nostalgia and false leads. It builds expectations it cannot sustain. The reveal feels weak, with shallow motivations and little emotional impact. In the end, what seemed like a promising return turns into a chapter that entertains along the way, but disappoints in its conclusion. That's surprising. Yeah, see, I mean, it's just, you get to a point where it's just like, yeah, cash grab, or is there more to the story? Guardians of the Galaxy was good because it was like all of them working together, they become a team. Second one was Peter's dad and stuff, which is part of a main story. And then Rocket Raccoon gets a third movie. And, so it worked out. It didn't do a fourth and fifth. They didn't do the other characters. They didn't do Groot's backstory. They didn't do Drax. They didn't do, you know what I mean? They could have, and they didn't. So it's kind of interesting. They kind of grouped them up a bit because you learn about Drax's story also. So, and they didn't have to do a fourth or fifth film. This is just like, yeah, cash grab, I guess. Hopefully it's not, but sounds like it. 10 out of 10, this feels like an adult Scream. Okay. 5 out of 10, Scream. Oh, wow. That's hilarious. I mean, it's not very good. It's the worst Scream so far. I have a cursed opinion when it comes to this series, and that's like that I like the ones not directed by Wes Craven. Maybe more than the ones directed by him. I'm a Scream 5 and especially a Scream 6 Defender. They're great, but it's weak how they screwed over probably 2 of the main actresses from those, and their approach here is to desperately crawl back to basics in a way that feels like regression. There are still interesting things to do with this Scream movie in the 2020s. The last 2 proved as much. Hell, the craziest thing about the 6th one was how, like, nobody of note died in the slasher movie. They don't do many interesting things here beyond exploring the idea that deep fakes can be like high-tech masks or whatever, and even then, I don't like that they have as much fun with the concept as they could. And even then, I don't think they have as much fun with the concept as they could. I didn't exactly guess the reveal or reveals or whatever, but I was thinking might happen would have been cooler, or at least more interesting than what did happen. I don't think a finale to one of these movies has been so shrug-inducing. The ride to that finale wasn't the worst thing in the world. There are a few decently fun sequences, and some of the kills are impressive. I think one of them will stick with me because of the thousands of people I've seen die on screen. No one has died like that before. Jesus. That's good, I guess. That's something. It's watchable, if a little disappointing, until it sort of throws up its hands and gives up at the end. I'm left disappointed, even if this would be passable background noise, and it's not as bad of an unnecessary sequel as Exorcist Believer. Judging on it on its own is pretty average. Part of me feels like it would be fair to dock another point or two for how they treated Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega. They had a good thing going and the producers blew it up. Whoever was ultimately behind Scream 7 creatively maybe did what they could with the bad situation, but what they did wasn't much. Mediocre on its own, but it leaves a sour taste in my mouth when I think about the behind-the-scenes stuff. Oh, that's a shame. Kind of wish I didn't give this movie money. Wow. And yeah, so 10 out of 10, amazing, but 4 out of 10, starts bad, gets worse. Wow, not 10, very good. Geez, these are all over the place. This must be from the studio. If it is a cash grab, right, then why wouldn't they put up fake reviews to help it? I mean, that makes sense, I guess. This will be the first film in the series directed by Kevin Williamson, who wrote Scream. Oh, Scream 2 and Scream 4. Yeah, and then Wes Craven, I guess, did some. Interesting. So they have different feels, probably. I'm amazed that Wes Craven wasn't able to capture a good moment. So no budget info. I'm gonna say, I mean, it sounds like it's gonna flop, right? It's probably gonna do well. It's probably gonna make 70 or 80 million opening, right? By Monday. And then it's gonna circulate that it's bad. And then the budget will come out that it's 100 million. And then a week or two later, it's gonna flop. It's probably gonna go off. So I'm gonna say Scream 7 will flop. Okay, the next film is this epic Elvis Presley concert. Kind of hilarious. Baz Luhrmann really wants his name recognized. Hopefully he's a true, big fan, but I don't know much about him. Maybe he was Elvis's right-hand man or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe he has more involvement than that. I'm not really familiar with him, but check him out. Oh, he directed it only. Wow, that's simple. Okay, anyways, let's check the trailer out. Hour and a half. That's cool.
A lot written and a lot said, but never from my side of the story. Hey, the light's on. I can see you. Hello out there. Hello. Camera crew, gentlemen. All right. It's coming closer. I feel like I'm slipping away. Play the hell out of it. Your kisses left behind. And you feel it. Like the sweet song of a you can't help but move to it. You light my morning sky, burn love. It's a new crowd out there. They haven't seen us before. But it's gotta be like the first time we go on. That's one of the secrets.
Wow. Well, cool. I mean, I'm an Elvis fan, so that's awesome. I don't know. I sort of little grew up with them. Not really, but the music was played when I was born, so yeah. And I watched the movies that he was in. That's so cool. But that's cool. An hour and a half. Perfect. Like right on the mark. PG-13, widely accessible. You can bring the kids. Documentary music follows Elvis Presley featuring never before seen footage and recordings. That's cool. I don't think I saw the Austin Butler one. Maybe I did. No, I think I started watching it. I guess he's good in that. I think 8.6 stars already. So it was either made last year and it had a light release, and then now it's having a wide release or whatever, I guess. Let's check out this Baz Luhrmann guy. I don't know anything about him. So he's a writer, director, producer. Let's see, from Australia. Baz Luhrmann, huh? Interesting. Wonder what connection he has to Elvis. Must just like him. Moulin Rouge, Australia. I think I saw that in the theater in 2008, and I got the movie poster. There's some event for school or something, I think. I don't know. Elvis. Oh, so he was part of the... Oh, wow. So he did the one. Okay. Fairway Downs, miniseries. The Get Down the Great Gatsby, 2013. Hard Chic, Naif Chic, The Classical Body, The Exotic Body, The Surreal Body, Shorts, nice. What else? Moulin Rouge, Morning Juliet. Cool, okay, well, and the upcoming Jahan d'Arc screenplay. So Elvis. So this was the one with Austin Butler, right? He did the voice, yeah, and Tom Hanks. I think that was good, because at least this guy can act and cares. You know, he's not gonna do it half. He's gonna he's gonna learn everything, and he's gonna actually act. Actually do the thing that you're supposed to do. Anyways, so that's cool. Let's see, who is Elvis Presley? Who could this guy be? Let's see, Girls with Girls, Blue Hawaii. I don't know which ones I watched when I was a kid. Viva Las Vegas, Tickle Me. Wow, he's in a lot. That's crazy. That is so funny. That is really cool. Let's see, what else? So pretty simple on that. Coming soon. Let's see, what else? Some photos. Who's going to be in it? Here's a cast. Easy. This is an easy one. Let's see, 57 reviews so far with an 8.6 star overall rating. That's good. I mean, it's not like this guy had enough bad stuff, to like warrant a low rating, I guess. Let's see, 9 out of 10 stars. Mind-blowing Elvis docu-concert. That was going to be so cool. Seeing an IMAX or Screen X or whatever. I wonder if they can do that. An IMAX for sure. In Real D. But what about that other one? What's the, not D-Box. What's the one that shakes you for an Elvis concert? That'd be kind of funny. A mind-blowing Elvis docu-concert. Exceptionally well-created, documented with several concert scenes. Okay, the shots are close and personal, feeling like the powerful input that Elvis placed in each song and each word. Great movie, worthwhile watching for the dedicated Elvis fan. Thank you, Baz, for bringing this to the movie theaters. Highly recommend seeing the IMAX version, but truly any version, of course, is going to be superb. Oh, they are doing an IMAX. That's cool. 10 out of 10. Elvis is at the peak of his powers. Have his all to his fans. This also shows a humble side of him. Visually, they did a great job restoring this, and the colors of the 70s come to life. If you're an Elvis fan, watch. If you're not, you'll be when you're done. P.S. He would have been sensational doing the Super Bowl halftime show with this act. That's funny. They should do like something like that for the people at home watching. They cut to like this. And they use, maybe, I don't know if they want to do that, but I guess you could use AI and like have them shout out the 2026 Super Bowl, have them say that. I'm sure they're very controlling of his IP and his image, but I'm just saying that'd be hilarious. Like at home, the viewers would see a Super Bowl with an Elvis concert for the halftime show. Dude, I think that'd be so sick. 10 out of 10, greatest concert movie ever, a life-changing experience in IMAX. This is by far one of the greatest documentary films I've ever seen. For those of us who have never seen seeing Elvis's life, this is as close as we would ever get. It was like being there. The sound, the passion, the excitement left me exhausted. I can't wait to see it again. 8 out of 10, solid and iconic concert. 10 out of 10, jump out of your seat and dance to the beat. 8 out of 10, incomplete. That's good. It's kind of on to Sellies. First off, I'd like to say I like this movie a lot. The songs, when they were actually played in there entirely, blew me away. I like the direction the movie was initially going. First, a brief synopsis of Elvis' career, his decision to go back to preparing for his performance, and then the actual performance. The problem is that those last two parts seem to be cut short. They should have spent more time showing the rehearsals. I found the little time that they showed this to be very interesting, and then there was the actual concert. I did not like the way it was done. You would see him begin a song, and then it would be interrupted by older film clips of 1950s Elvis, or clips of interviews that he did more recently. So we never really get to see the whole song performed. Well, maybe that's a copyright thing or something. I don't know. The 2 times you get to see and hear the whole song performed were great. Okay, never mind. Each song was presented by slicing part of it from one concert, part of it from rehearsals, and part of it from another concert. Unfortunately, I only saw this being done with Burning Love and Suspicious Minds. Interesting. I would have liked this movie a lot better if they showed songs performed in their entirety, and then they could have shown the interviews, etc., between the songs. My hope is that with all the found footage, someone puts all this together to present the concert and just the concert. And that also means including American Trilogy. It seems to me that they just showed a few brief seconds of that song because the producers are afraid that it would be criticized for not being politically correct. Oh, well, yeah, maybe. Overall, I recommend this movie, especially if you're an Elvis fan, but I think that it could have been a lot more. They could have done a lot more with the amount of footage that they supposedly uncovered. Interesting. Well, okay, well, that's good. Well, mostly Hyde then. 10 out of 10 amazing film. 10 out of 10 epic was epic. 10 out of 10 Elvis is unmatched to this very day. 6 out of 10. Kind of a lower one. I'm sorry I went to see epic, but acknowledges and celebrates, but does not add. I'm sorry I went to see epic, but I can't say it added greatly to my appreciation and understanding of the king. Much of the footage or equivalent footage is available online. And the best footage of all the 1968 comeback special is not all included in this tribute special, presumably because it was not available to the filmmaker. I believe there is original footage, but if so, it is no way distinctive. I found myself wondering whether the film was intended for the nostalgia market or to expose newer generations to the attractions of Elvis, filling into the theater after the entire resident body of a local nursing home with their frames and walkers. I was inclined to think the former. Mind you, it was a lunchtime screening, and hopefully the evening audiences are more diverse. I can't say the presentation style appeals to my generation. Clip after clip sandwiched together, mostly less than 10 seconds long, battered my senses. Original footage was jazzed up with zooms and cutaways with a vertiginous effect. Fortunately, further into the film, the pace steadied slightly. However, although the comment was aired that Elvis incorporated elements into his performances to capture and hold interest through a song, he was not given an opportunity to do so in the film, as I don't think there was one complete performance included. Oh, I see. I think my opinion of Baz Luhrmann's contribution to the production is evident from the above comments. I would say in his favor that good taste was served by the omission of footage from Elvis's last 2 years, when the failure of his health was so distressingly obvious. But again, it may be a question of availability. But we've kind of seen all that. I don't know if you want to see that again. The film does focus on the Spangles and Diamante period of the early 1970s, which fair enough, other spectacle, but not my favorite performances. But of Elvis as he strikes me now, there is really no original intellectual content in this film. Some familiar themes are briefly touched on: his wish for better acting roles, the influence of gospel music, his love for his mother and wish for a family, his love for live audiences, etc. So nothing new, but the film provides a reminder of his stunning physical beauty, his talent as a performer, and his outstanding ability to present a show. It's clear that he was hardworking, well-rehearsed, and supported by talented musicians. And on a personal level, I have the impression that he was a good-tempered, mentally well-adjusted man who enjoyed his life, and that, I say with relief, that he was heterosexual within the normal bounds. Pardon my prejudices, but by comparison with other famous performers since, I would like to give him a thumbs up. That's a weird review, but okay, that's cool. 10 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. All right, well, anyways, let's see if there's a budget. I don't know if the point of this is, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, to heavily make me money in a way, but I'm sure it is. But I'm just saying, you know, like how could there be really much of a budget? Well, wow, okay, but it's not, nothing here. 3 million and then 5 million worldwide. What do you think? Unfortunately, it's like, you know what they should do? This obviously isn't for new people, right? It's not supposed to be for, like, to bring in a new audience to Elvis. And then all of a sudden, Apple Music sales go up and, you know, whatever, and albums of Elvis go up. You know what I mean? I don't know. Possibly, but this has an audience. You don't need to bring in new people. You know what I mean? Like, so what they should do or something is go around to all the nursing homes or all the people who, like, the audience, you know, whatever, older people, and somehow give them a way to view this. You know what I mean? Set up movie theaters, have the senior places schedule days to bring them to the movie theater to show this, bring the theater to them, set one up in the banquet room, whatever, at these places, you know, other things like that. People are at home, send them an exclusive copy of the movie for them to watch or something, because those people are the ones who are going to appreciate this. So I mean, there is, you know, of course, people who like music in general, but yeah. So I think because of that, you know, this movie, unfortunately, it's probably gonna flop because, like I'm saying, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be like a blockbuster. You know, it's gonna make 100 million by Monday, right? There's no budget. It's probably gonna make 10 million, 15 million. I don't know. I hope not. But so that's what I'm saying. They should find a way to give this to the audience. And then they can report the numbers back and be like, hey, you know, we brought the movie to the people who can't go to the theater. You know, they're disabled maybe. I don't know. Who knows? I have no idea. You know what I'm saying? But it could have had a better outcome with a different method of distribution maybe. Bring this movie to the people who'd watch it, basically. So yeah, I think that this movie will make 10 or 15 million, and it will, I don't know. I don't know if there's a budget really, right? They must have paid some editors. And do you think Baz Luhrmann took a cut for himself? That's got to be 10 million, 15. If it can make 15 or 20, it will do fine. But yeah, I think it's going to flop in the end. All right, so those are all the films that come out today. My guesses for these films are that I think Scream 7 is probably going to flop. It'll have a big opening day, and then eventually the word of mouth will go out that it's like not a good film, and ultimately it will flop. Epic Elvis Presley concert, I think, will flop in the end because it's just not gonna get enough people who want to see this to the theater. And I think that, yeah, it's just not gonna make that much money. So Epic will flop. And we can also check out the current box office. GOAT is still there. It was surprising. Wuthering Heights. I Can Imagine 2. Crime 101. Yeah, nothing's moved really. Epic. Wow, there you go. Epic Elvis, whatever, is already in 7th place. See? That's not going to do well. Solo Mio's there. Zootopia 2, whatever. Psycho Killer. Is it Guardians Pillion? Yeah, all these didn't do. Some that Pillion didn't do well. Jeez, Midwinter Break. Cold Storage. I'm so surprised. 1 million. God, that's unfortunate that happened. And yeah, so maybe Scream 7 will probably make, what do you think? 50 or 60 million, which will knock GOAT down. And then in the next week, Scream 7 will go down to 4th place, right? All right, and that wraps up this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Comment down below about what you thought, and I will see you in the next episode. Peace.